You wake up. The sun has not yet risen. Your mind is still half asleep. But before you even stretch your limbs, before you even take a conscious breath, your hand moves. It reaches out into the dark. It finds the cold glass rectangle. The screen lights up. And just like that, you are gone. You didn't choose to do this. You didn't make a conscious decision to flood your brain with emails, tragedies, and advertisements at 6 a.m. It was a reflex, a twitch, a command executed by a master you cannot see. You think you are holding a tool, but look closer. The tool is holding you. Look around you. Walk down any street, sit in any restaurant, board any train. What do you see? You see a sea of bowed heads. You see a civilization that has voluntarily put on digital blinders. We are physically present, but spiritually absent. We are ghosts in our own lives. We call this staying connected. The Stoics would call it slavery. Welcome to the war for your attention. Welcome to core wisdom. You blame yourself. You sit down to work, to create, to study, and 5 minutes later you are scrolling. You tell yourself, I am weak, I lack discipline, I need to try harder. Stop. You are not fighting a fair fight. On the other side of that screen, there is an army. There are the smartest engineers, the most brilliant psychologists, and the most powerful algorithms in human history. They have spent billions of dollars with one single goal: to hack your biology, to exploit your evolutionary vulnerabilities, to keep you scrolling, clicking, and watching until you die. They are not selling a product. You are the product. Your attention is the resource they are mining. Your focus is the fuel for their empire. They have weaponized a molecule inside your own head, a molecule called dopamine. Dopamine is nature's currency for survival. It rewards us for finding food, for reproduction, for discovery. But the modern world has inflated the currency. Every notification, every like, every short video is a cheap, artificial injection of dopamine. It feels good for a second, but it leaves you empty. It leaves you craving more. You have become a dopamine junkie, chasing hits that never satisfy, while your real life, your dreams, your work, your relationships, starves to death in the background. This feels like a modern problem, but the battle for the mind is ancient. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics identified distraction as the greatest threat to a good life. They didn't have smartphones, but they had gossip, they had politics, they had the noise of Rome, and they developed a counterweapon, a concept they called Prosoche. Prosoche. It translates to attention, but it means so much more than that. It means continuous vigilance. It means standing guard at the gates of your mind 24 hours a day. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, warned his students, "When you relax your attention for a little while, do not imagine that you will recover it whenever you please. But know this, that because of your mistake today, your affairs will be in a worse condition tomorrow." Think about that. Every time you mindlessly check your phone, you are not just taking a break. You are abandoning your post. You are leaving the gates of your fortress wide open for the enemy to walk in. And once the enemy is inside, once the distraction takes hold, it is 10 times harder to kick them out. You think you can switch your focus on and off like a light bulb? You are wrong. Focus is not a switch. Focus is a muscle. And right now, yours is atrophied. The cost of this is higher than you think. A distracted life is a life not lived. Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." If you are scrolling while you eat, you are not tasting the food. If you are texting while you speak to your child, you are not hearing them. If you are constantly reacting to the world, you are never creating your own. You are a spectator in your own existence. So, how do we fight back? How do we reclaim the territory of our own minds in a world designed to distract us? The answer is not to smash your smartphone. The answer is not to move to a cave in the mountains. The answer lies in a practice that the modern world has completely forgotten. A practice that feels painful. A practice that feels radical. We must relearn how to be bored. Think about it. When was the last time you did nothing? I don't mean watching a movie. I don't mean listening to a podcast while you drive. I mean absolutely nothing. Just you and your thoughts in a quiet room. You probably can't remember, because the moment a gap of silence appears in your day, in an elevator, in a line at the grocery store, at a red light, you panic. You reach for the device. You plug the hole. You cannot bear the silence for even 10 seconds. The French philosopher Blaise Pascal said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." We are terrified of our own minds. We use noise to drown out the internal questions we are afraid to answer. We use distraction as a shield against reality. But the Stoics knew that strength is not found in the noise. Strength is found in the silence. If you want to reclaim your focus, you must undergo a detox. Not a diet for your body, but a fast for your brain. We need to starve the dopamine receptors that have become so swollen and greedy. This brings us to the first rule of the Stoic focus: voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised taking a few days every month to live in poverty, to eat little, to wear rough clothes. Why? To prove to yourself that you can survive without luxury, to break your dependency on comfort. We must apply this to our attention. We must practice digital poverty. Here is the challenge. For the first hour of your day, touch nothing. No phone, no email, no news, no music. Just you. It will hurt. Your brain will scream. It will beg for the hit. It will tell you that you are missing out. It will invent emergencies that don't exist. You will feel anxious. You will feel restless. Good. That pain is not bad. That pain is the feeling of the addiction leaving your body. Sit with the coffee. Look at the window. Watch the steam rise from the cup. If a thought comes, let it come. If a worry comes, let it come. Do not scroll it away. Look it in the eye. This is what the Stoics called the inner citadel. You are rebuilding the walls of your fortress. Every time you feel the urge to check your phone, and you don't, you are laying a brick. Every time you embrace the boredom instead of running from it, you are deepening the moat. You are teaching your brain a new lesson. I am the master. The impulse is the slave. But clearing the noise is only the first step. Once the silence returns, you will find something terrifying waiting for you. You will find the work you have been avoiding. You will find the big, difficult tasks that require deep focus. And this is where the real war begins. Because a brain that has been fried by short-form videos has forgotten how to think deeply. We have lost the ability to read a book for an hour. We have lost the ability to write without switching tabs every 3 minutes. We have become shallow. And in a shallow world, depth is a superpower. Marcus Aurelius ruled the largest empire on earth. He had infinite distractions. He had wars, plagues, and betrayals demanding his attention every second, and yet he wrote Meditations, a work of profound philosophical depth. How? He understood the concept of the present moment. He wrote, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Precise and genuine seriousness. That is the key. When you work, work. When you play, play. Do not mix them. The modern disease is multitasking. We think we are being productive. We are lying to ourselves. We are just doing two things badly. The Stoic creates boundaries, iron boundaries. When the emperor sat down to write, he was not the emperor anymore. He was a philosopher. The world outside the tent ceased to exist. You must treat your focus with the same sacred respect. When you sit down to work, you are entering a temple. You do not bring the noise of the market into the temple. You leave the phone in another room. You turn off the internet. You close the door. You create a space where the algorithm cannot find you. It will be hard at first. Your mind will wander. It will look for an escape. Gently, without judgment, bring it back. Bring it back to the task. Bring it back to the breath. Again, and again, and again. This is the practice. Focus is not a gift you are born with. Focus is a muscle you build. And right now, for most of us, that muscle has atrophied. It is weak. It is flabby. But it can be trained. And the reward for this training is not just productivity. It is not just getting more work done. The reward is something far more precious. The reward is your life. Think about it. What is your life, really? Your life is nothing more than the sum total of what you paid attention to. If you pay attention to angry comments, your life becomes angry. If you pay attention to shallow gossip, your life becomes shallow. If you pay attention to anxiety, your life becomes anxious. But if you pay attention to your craft, your life becomes a masterpiece. If you pay attention to your loved ones, your life becomes full of love. If you pay attention to the present moment, your life becomes real. Seneca said it best. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We are not running out of time. We are throwing it away. We are donating hours of our lives to Silicon Valley companies that do not care if we live or die. It is time to stop the donation. It is time to cut the cable. So, here is the choice. And make no mistake, it is a choice you have to make every single morning. You stand at a crossroads. To the left is the path of least resistance, the path of the scroll, the path of the notification, the path of the dopamine hit. It is easy, it is comfortable, it is numb. But it leads to a graveyard. Not a graveyard of bodies, but a graveyard of potential. Down that path lies a life where you watched other people live, but never lived yourself. A life where you consumed everything, but created nothing. To the right is the path of the Stoic, the path of resistance, the path of silence, the path of deep work. It is lonely there. There is no applause, there are no likes. There is only the quiet struggle of you against yourself. But down that path lies something that the algorithm cannot give you. Sovereignty, the absolute ownership of your own soul. Epictetus asked his students a question that echoes through the ages. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? How long? How many more hours will you donate to the screen? How many more days will you lose to the fog? You are not a machine designed to process data for advertisers. You are a human being, capable of reason, capable of creation, capable of greatness. But greatness requires a sacrifice. You must sacrifice the cheap pleasure of the present for the deep satisfaction of the future. This is a rebellion. In a world that screams for your attention, silence is an act of war. In a world that wants you distracted, focus is an act of revolution. When you put the phone away, you are not just turning off a device. You are cutting the strings. You are telling the puppet masters, I am no longer yours. So, here is my challenge to you. Do not just watch this video and nod your head. That is just another form of consumption. Take action. Tonight, set a curfew for your digital life. 1 hour before bed, disconnect. Pull the plug. Let the world disappear. Sit in the quiet. Read a book. Talk to a human being, or just stare at the wall. Reclaim that hour. It belongs to you. And tomorrow morning, do not start your day on your knees before the algorithm. Do not let the world rush into your bedroom before you have even stood up. Keep the gates closed. Give the first hour of your day to yourself, to your mind, to your purpose. It will be uncomfortable. You will feel the withdrawal. But remember, the discomfort is the evidence that you are waking up. The matrix is strong. It is designed to keep you asleep. But you are stronger. You have the blood of ancestors who survived ice ages and wars running through your veins. You were built to do hard things. You were built to focus. Stop feeding the machine. Start feeding your mind. The war for your attention is the only war that matters right now, and it is a war you can win. But you have to fight. You have to fight for every inch of your mental territory. The screen is dark now. The video is ending. The silence is waiting for you. What will you do with it? This is core wisdom. If you are ready to join the rebellion, subscribe, turn off the notifications, and get to work.